oftentimes we work so hard that we spend all of our time and we give up our health to try to acquire some income and some retirement money and some savings. And then we turn around and have to spend the money that we save to buy our health back when we're older. So I think it kind of goes hand in hand. You have to have a nice balance there. But today we're going to talk about what is your freedom number for the passive income. And this is how I found my freedom number. So this is quite the story. So I want to kind of tell you my story first. I was a single mom. I was working 2 jobs, both minimum wage with no health insurance. Now that's here in the States. So I realized that some of the cultures are a little different between here in the United States and also there. And so I'm not sure where everyone else is from. Am I correct that everyone else I'm talking to is actually located in Ireland? Is that correct?
No, we have UK, we have yeah, we have mostly UK and Ireland here at the moment.
Okay, so again, the cultures are somewhat different, and so as I go through this, plug your numbers in to when I talk about particular numbers. You might think, oh, well, that I couldn't do that here. The numbers are different. So when I get to some of the formulas, be sure you plug your numbers in for where you're located. So I realized that there is a difference there. So anyway, as a single mom, I was working 2 jobs, both minimum wage here in the States, and of course, you know, no health insurance on a minimum wage job. I was living payday to payday. I had no extra cash for emergencies. I had a car that I couldn't keep running, and everything here requires a car. We don't have the transportation systems that you might have there. And so I had no means to save toward retirement. Then something happened that changed my life forever. My mom sat me down and had a talk with me about getting on with it, meaning I needed to make more money. And I met a nail tech that was making more money in 1 week than I made in a month from my corporate job. Now, I don't know what the term is there. Do you gals get acrylic nails at all? Yes? Okay.
Yes, we do.
When I was about 40 years old, acrylic nails just became all the rave here in the States. And of course, I was, you know, in my minimum wage job, I went and got my nails done. I squeaked out, you know, the amount of money I needed to get my nails done. And when I sat down with this nail tech, I don't know what made me ask her. And again, she's the appropriate title is she's a manicurist, but here our slang term is a nail tech. And so I just asked her, I said, what kind of money can you make doing nails anyway? And just kind of as a conversation, and what she told me shocked me. She said, I'm having a very, very bad week. She said, I normally, you know, make about $1,200 a week, and that's of course US currency, and my minimum wage job I was making about $400, and she was making like $1,200. And I was like, what? So I thought, well, maybe this is the answer for my mom, where she was wanting me to start putting at age 40. She said, you know, you don't have a lot of time to put some retirement back. She said, if you just round it off to from 40 to 60, you've got 20 years to figure out what you're going to do for retirement. And so I thought, well, maybe this would kind of make my mother happy. I could, you know, be a nail tech part-time and put back that money, and I could say, see there, I'm doing something toward my retirement. Because again, minimum wage, I was barely, you know, I was payday to payday. So I decided to go to nail school, and again, here in the States, it's cosmetology program, and become a part-time nail tech. And so that was the fast track. I could do that in about 9 weeks. At the time, I had no idea the impact that this would have. The problem was I was working full-time in my corporate job and part-time as a nail tech, and I had no time for my daughter. I was a single mom. And so I always seemed to be racing from one job to the other. So just when I thought things couldn't get any worse, the nail salon that I had signed on with decided to close. My corporate position was changing into a mandatory bachelor degree program, and I had no time or money to go back to school for my bachelor degree. So I was on a downward slide because the owners of the nail salon decided it was too much work for them to continue. That's why they were closing and selling. And then the owners of the corporate company was hoping to sell and retire. And the new big corporate buyer wanted everyone to have a bachelor degree. which of course I didn't have, and no time or money to get that. So needless to say, I felt panicked. So how could I support myself and my daughter without 2 jobs? I started researching all the local colleges to get my bachelor's degree as soon as possible so I could hang on to that corporate job. You know, we all go for certainty over uncertainty. So I said, oh, if I could just get that degree, then I could stay right here at my $400 a week. But I started visiting nail salons to find a new salon in the meantime. But that's when I truly hit rock bottom. I showed up for work at the nail salon and it was locked with a big for sale sign in the window. The salon had already closed. The next day I showed up for my corporate job and my boss told me I needed to work more hours because my mandatory 50+ hours a week was not enough for the new owners. So I was exhausted from the commute. I was exhausted from the work hours. And this meant I kind of panicked. So I started looking for yet a 3rd job. Now, how in the world was I going to do that? My mom was exhausted from taking care of my dad, who had been diagnosed with pancreatic cancer at the time. And then my mom was also watching my ADHD daughter. If anybody knows anything about ADHD, my daughter's jumping all over the place, while I was trying to figure out what to do. So my mom had her hands full, and now I'm out looking for a 3rd job of all things. Well, that's when I decided that I needed to go full-time as a nail tech since the income was better than my corporate job. But I didn't know how to do that. With my nail tech income, I decided to buy my first home all by myself, a condo. I'm 40 years old, and it's the first time that I had enough cash flow that I could actually even think about buying a piece of real estate. And so again, with my nail tech income, I was able to afford health insurance, because once I left my corporate job, I was going to lose the corporate health insurance. So I had to buy my own standalone policy. So this was a big decision. This was the big turning point for me. But then something happened that changed everything. I had found a new salon where the owners had nail techs and tanning beds, and I realized as owners, they were collecting rent from me and other technicians. Now, here in the States, and again, you'll have to kind of educate me, we have what's called booth rent salons where the girls just rent a chair. I don't know if your salons function like that in Ireland or in the UK. Do they have booth rent salons, or the girls, are they employees of the salons?
I think there's a bit of both, actually.
Okay, because we have a bit of both as well.
Yeah.
But I signed on with a booth rent salon, and I realized that they were collecting rent from me and all the other stylists and technicians. And it occurred to me that I could buy my own building and I could rent out to hairstylists and nail techs. So in 20 years, my staff could buy me a building. So, because I was 40 and I thought, okay, I have to have cash flow at 60 to retire. So what if I bought a building, even if I didn't cash flow from the rent? I wonder if I just collected the rent from the girls and paid the mortgage and insurance and property taxes, collected the rent, paid the bills, collected the rent, paid the bills. In 20 years, I would have a building free and clear. Well, that was the spark I needed. I was scared, but optimistic to get a commercial loan for my very own salon building. I knew I was on the right path. Well, here's what happened next. I learned everything I could about the salon industry. I made additional mortgage payments each year to pay off the building earlier than the 20-year note, because I had about 12 girls working for me once I got rolling. But then one day I looked up and I realized I could now buy 4 more salon buildings and sign on even more stylists and more nail techs to pay me the rent. And so along with some extra, I ended up buying some single family rentals as well to help grow my passive income in retirement. I was forever changed by the fact that I now had passive income and freedom to live the lifestyle I always wanted. I could work less hours, and I could even homeschool my daughter. By then she was in high school. I now felt in control, confident, a good provider for the first time ever. I saw myself as a business owner. I ended up receiving the Chamber of Commerce Business of the Year Award in my local community, and I then received the Chamber of Commerce Entrepreneur of the Year Award in my local community. And that's why I knew I couldn't stop there. I realized that I needed to teach you how to do what I have done. I needed to make creating passive income even easier for you. So now I'm focusing on creating a step-by-step process for you to discover what is your next best step in creating passive income. I've created a user-friendly website, and I've also created an online international academy. So now I'm able to help individuals and entrepreneurs just like you go from panic to passive. This makes me feel like there is so much more for me to do. I'm just getting started. So what I'd like you to take away from all of this is no matter how bleak things get, keep going, never stop learning, and simply start to find your next best step to passive income and freestyle living today. So I'm Kathy Benner, a passive income coach, a health and wealth educator. I didn't know my freedom number when I started, and I bet very few of you watching this know yours. What is your freedom number? And here's how I found the secret to having the passive income and learning what my freedom number is. The freedom number is the foundation of building legacy wealth. Now, here's where it gets interesting, so take some notes. Without it, you don't know where you're going or where you've been. I think you have Gina waiting in your waiting room there.
She's in.
Okay, good. So the freedom number is the foundation of building legacy wealth. Without it, you don't know where you're going or where you've been. It's the single most important guidepost along your journey to financial freedom. When I learned this simple formula from real estate investor, it changed my life. So for years, I threw around arbitrary numbers like, I want to be a millionaire, without any idea as to knowing why, other than I thought that would make me comfortable. When you run this simple freedom number formula, you'll be shocked to find that you don't need to make $1 million at all. True financial freedom is quickly attainable with real estate investing. I also guarantee that you'll be shocked at just how many rental properties it'll take for you to reach freedom. I know I was. So here's my formula, and here's where you need to plug your numbers in on where you're located. Open your bank accounts and look over the last 6 months of your expenses. Expenses are what it takes to run your family every month. They may look like this: an electric bill, cable bill, groceries, gas, car, Netflix, tuition, taxes, mortgage, rent, few dinners out, movies. Don't leave anything out. Don't cut corners. If you're reading this during the holiday season, then you want to leave those expenses out. Skip the holidays because they'll throw everything out of whack. Take those 6 months worth of expenses and find the average of those months. Let's say, for the sake of argument, and again, my numbers are US currency, but for the sake of argument, say that your number is $4,500 a month. Well, great. Now you want to pad it a little. I like to add 10%. Just to give some extra freedom there. So in this example, it would be $450. So I rounded up to an even 5,000. So 5,000 is my freedom number. If I had an additional $5,000 a month coming into our house, we'd have everything covered. You would have achieved financial freedom. Okay, can you agree with that? If you could cover your entire budget, you then could do what you want, whenever you want. So that is your freedom number, is whatever it takes you to cover your budget every single month. So it doesn't sound like a lot, does it? It's not, and you don't need to be a millionaire to achieve it. And here is the fun part. This is the part where we figure out how many rental properties it would take to cover our 5,000. Okay, don't groan. I've heard all those horror stories about being a landlord. Trust me, if you create systems and solutions, you won't have predicaments and problems. Most of the rental properties that I fix and keep for myself, and again, put your numbers in here, they're 1, 2, or 3 bedroom with 1, 1.5, or 2 bathrooms, single family, duplex, which is 2 units, triplex, or a 4plex. And I'm mostly investing in Ohio, in the US, because that's where I live. Most of them rent between $600 and $1,200 a month. Again, that's US currency. Each of these houses cost roughly $29,000 to $100,000 after they've been rehabbed, but for now we're only concerned with the rent. So for the sake of this example, let's use an easy rental average of $700 per month. I like to be super conservative in my estimations. So I take the $700 and I want to account for an additional 40% for vacancies and repairs, both of which are rare, especially since we just renovated the house. So 70 times 0.60, 60% is $420. That leaves us the 40%. In a worst case scenario, we'd be making $420 per month on this house. Again, I do it to be very conservative and safe. So I'm cash flowing $420. Now here's the magic to find our freedom number. We now simply take our expenses of $5,000 and divide it by the $420. We get 11.9, so let's round that up to 12. 12 properties cash flowing $700 minus repairs, vacancies, etc., and you don't have to work again. 12 properties, 12 doors, or $420 a month is all it would take for us to achieve our freedom number. Isn't that remarkable? Because we took the 12 and we took the 700 minus, so we end up with the 420. So that actually equals our freedom number. This was the first property I bought. This was my condo. Again, it's in Central Ohio, USA. And this is the first one that I did all on my own. I was so darned excited that I had my own property all by myself. My name was the only name on the deed. This was my first salon building. It was my second purchase. And I ultimately had 12 stylists and nail techs totally working there full time, paying me booth rent. So this house didn't cash flow for me. I broke even on it when I bought it. I had enough stylists that what they paid the bills. And so in 20 years, I knew that I would own this piece of real estate, which is now paid off, by the way, ladies, and I am retired and I am now at a place where I can give back. This is a special little purchase, and a quick story on this one. My mother, by this point, my dad had passed away. I mentioned earlier he had the cancer. My mother then had some bonds, some U.S. savings bonds that she cashed in, and she handed me the money. And she said, "Here, I want you to have this." And I was like, "Oh, you know, it was like $10,000." And I thought, you know, that'll just go in a hurry on bills, and I won't know what I did with it, you know. So I thought, gee, I wonder if I could buy a house for $10,000, which is unheard of. I found this little cottage, and yes, ladies, it's a 3-bedroom little cottage. I paid $6,500 for an entire little cottage. It's been rented for $650 ever since. Then I added 2 more salons. This top one here, and it actually even came with 3 1-bedroom units in the back. So it has 3 1-bedroom apartments in the back of this building. But these are my next 2 salons. And then I ended up buying 4 single family. And so I ended up, you know, taking care of helping my mom take care of my dad. And after he passed, you know, I was able to just leverage this and move on. Then I bought 2 more single families after that. And then now I'm at the place where I can pay cash for properties. And so these are 3 more properties. This is the dining room in this one. This is a bedroom in this one. This is a kitchen in this one. And so I then bought these 3 more properties and I paid cash. So finally I'm at the place where I not only have passive income coming in, but now I'm able to even save some funds and pay cash for properties. And then I turned my house. This is where I live. This is where I'm sitting right now in this house. And this house, once I retired, I turned it into a bed and breakfast. And so now we have folks from around the world that come through my living room. I have 3 guest rooms. This is what my house looks like on an aerial view. I'm sitting right there in that corner. That's where my office is. And then this is some pictures of our parlor. And so I have guests. I have a full house last night and a full house again tonight. And I generate from 1 bedroom, and there's 1, 2, 3. I generate from 1 bedroom in my house the same income that I generate from a 1-bedroom apartment, a whole separate building. I generate just with a room in my house. And so last but not least, we did go to Florida. It's about a 2-hour flight, maybe a 15-hour drive. And we bought a tiny house in Florida as a vacation house, and it's close to the beaches and shopping and all of that good stuff. So to recap, add up your monthly expenses, pad it by 10%. Let's say it's 5,000 is your freedom number in this example. Take your average single family rental, whatever that number is for you, and take out your repairs, your vacancy and repairs, then your monthly expenses, and divide it by that number to find out how many units you have to achieve financial freedom. So that is my presentation. I'm going to turn it back over to you and we'll go from there.
Thank you very much, Kathy. I remember I was talking to Kathy, when was it? About 2 weeks ago. And what she said was, "Oh, Ireland, I've been to Ireland before." They were going to buy, she was trying to convince a partner to buy a house in Ireland only because they visited. So you can clearly see where her passion is, passive income, but she's focused on real estate. I was saying earlier on that it's important to have 4 different streams when you have a clear cut like that. You have your business, you have your equity, you have your earned stream, and then you have your passive income stream. And I know that real estate, Airbnb, they bring in good money. We'll all get there, but we need to work on it. The idea is for us to have our retirement not to be a scary thing to look at. I know for a fact that when teenagers are getting to adulthood, they're transiting from that time from when they're leaving uni and they're going into the world of work. It's a bit daunting for them. They're kind of like, am I ready for, sometimes they don't say it to parents, but they are nervous about it and thinking, what does the world have there for me? And I think for us as adults, when we're looking at retirement, is that the same thing where you're looking at, it's the unknown. Am I ready for it? Do I have the resources to sustain me? But the reason why we're doing this is, at whatever age it is, it's never too late for you to embrace your future. It's never too late for you to grab what you have. Take stock of what you have today, line it out, and then see how you go from there. And so many things to come, I'm like, okay. And then I found you were talking about financial confidence. And I know it's not something a lot of people talk about. People talk about other streams of income, but they don't really talk about, they talk about financial dependency or financial independence, but they don't really talk about financial confidence. And when I found out what it was the last year I was blown away, and I'm thinking, really, this is all we need. And financial confidence basically is having the skill set. It's not what you have today or what you don't have. It's having the skill set to start all over and create in any environment. If you're stripped naked, like Gina said, incidences can happen that will blow you out of the way. Unplanned things can happen. And you can be told your job is done next week when you're still banking on the income that's coming next month to do certain things. So if things like that happens, you're on your own. But if you have financial confidence, you have the skill set to start all over. You have, you can call an agency now and say, oh, can you have a few hours for me to do something there? Which was what Kathy did with the nail tech thing. Mm-hmm. So you can have the skill set to create something that will generate income for you. Retirement is not laziness. Retirement is you having the power and the choice to live the life that you want at your own pace, doing what you want, and just being you, loving life, being you. Earlier this morning as well, I was listening to a call, and one of the ladies that had a meeting was saying, one of the participants said something about not having any problem. And she didn't know how to answer her back because the woman said she doesn't have any problems that needs dealing with. I'm like, you're still growing. You're still growing, for goodness sake. Everybody grows on a daily basis. So you don't have all the answers. And until we get to that place when you can know fully that you're self-actualized, we never truly get there until we die. Because there's always one more thing to be done. Always one more thing you could do better. Even when you've done all, there's always one more thing you can fine tune. There's always one more life you can make a change about. So I want to say thank you to you ladies. The words that I picked out: intentionality, strategic, forced retirement, financial confidence, purpose, and health. Don't joke with the health. It's when you have health that you can chase wealth. So the two go hand in hand. So we need to take care of one in order for us to be able to get the other, which we need to now fulfill life according to how we're doing, according to how we want to live our lives. Thank you so much, Gina. Thank you, Kathy. Does anyone have any question? We have a few minutes left. I've just been really blessed by today. We have 4 minutes left. We went too quickly. Does anyone have any question? Okay, I see some comments in the chat box there. I'm going to read them quickly. Thanks, Gina, for the wise tips. I think I'm jumping the gun somewhere. Just give me a minute there. Okay. Okay, thanks, Kathy. That was insightful and encouraging. Thanks, Kathy, for such an insightful session. Thanks, Kathy. Thanks, Kathy. I'm saying that's me now. I haven't put it there, but I'm saying it. Okay, so you can learn more about Kathy at kathybina.com. You know, she's a blogger as well, and she has a women's meetup group as well on Facebook, I think it is. So you can learn more about kathybina.com. And Bina is BINNER, kathybina.com. Like she has on the name there. So just to put the .com and the www before it. So thank you so much, Gina. Gina has a website at GHG, that's for our initials, ghgfinancialplanning.com. And Gina, I was preying your website as well. And I saw you have some resources as well that people can even just go into. So you can get in touch with Gina at ghgfinancialplanning.com. Thanks, Gina, for the wise tips. Thanks, Gina.
Okay.
Kathy is so happy to be here. We love having you as well. One who says, love the simplicity of the formula with the freedom number, makes property investment plans less daunting. Okay, so I have my little bit of thank you there at bit.ly get your retirement checklist. So if you click into that, you'll be able to access that. I want to say
an additional comment after you're done.
Yeah, cool.
Okay,
Go ahead. Yeah. Go ahead. You say that. Yeah.
Okay, I was just wanting to. I am launching having a call on September 26th in terms of looking at that Smart Women Finish Strong. Just looking at putting the pieces and the plans in place for getting strong finishing. And of course, the strong finish starts with a strong foundation of starting, and it's starting with where you are right now. And if you'd like more information about that, you could put your email information in the chat, or you can contact me and I can get you some information on that. But it's looking at September 26th, and I said at 11, so it's a 6-hour difference. I guess I have to get with my international friends, so I guess it would be. I guess it would be wait. The same time as today on the 26th. So if you'd like more information, I'd love to share it with you. But as Fosla said, I do have a lot of resources, tips, and tools, calculators on my website that you can just play around with and just get a little insight and understanding. So thank you for that.
Right. Kathy, do you have anything coming up as well, do you?
I do. I actually run several masterminds, and they're ongoing. They're monthly paid masterminds. We have one called Happy House Hunters, and it's all about learning how to invest in real estate. We have another one that's called Simply Start Mastermind, and it is how to create all of your business model. It's called Build a Better Business, and it's how to create your website, your funnels, your free offer, your first level offer, second level offer, your highest offer, and how to convert those into paying clients. And then I'm starting just this coming Monday, I'm starting a new mastermind on newbie bloggers, how to create and monetize your blog. It's just another way that you can create passive income from home with blog posts. And with the way the world is right now, and we've all had to pivot and work more from home everywhere, the blogging is really quite an amazing thing. I started blogging, I'm going to say in March, when all of our shutdowns started to happen, and I'm generating about $1,000 US dollars a month from my blog post from March until now. And that just gives you an idea of how you can grow that into passive income. And that starts Monday, wow. The mastermind.
Thank you so much, Kathy. Thank you so much. I want to say thank you. I think we have, how many minutes? Oh, okay, we're just bang on a minute out of time, but that's fine. So I just want to say thank you for your time. Thank you to all our speakers. Thank you for all the guests. And for those of you watching us live, I say thank you. This is a monthly meeting that we do. We could be coming up with anything and anything. So just watch out. If you have any mindset block, anything stopping you and you think you're finding it difficult to cross over to where you should be, join our group on Facebook, where it's a budding group, I have to say. So it's RML Club Online, and we will be posting a lot of resources there. But join us and connect with me. My name is Busola Shobamimu. I am a life coach, and life for me is legacy, impact, freedom, and empowerment. Thank you for your time, everyone. Thanks.